Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Not Too Shabby YouTube channel. Today I am playing with the Aloha Stamp Set from the Box of the Month from Not Too Shabby Shop for June 2024. This is the Aloha set right here, and I have all the images stamped and I have colored up those two main images. They are gorgeous. I love the colors, and here you can see them cut out. There is a coordinating die set you can add on to this box if you want that. All right, so I have pulled out some mixed media paper here, and I'm going to bring out some acrylic watercolors that are like metallic, or they have like an iridescent shine to them. They look different on black paper than white paper. These are just paints I had in my stash, and I thought I would make my own backgrounds. These are quick and easy to do. So you can see I'm really spreading out this fresh lemon, I think this one is called, paint on here, and I'm getting some of those brush stroke marks, which I love. I love this look. It's just really free flowing. It's very natural. It's just fun. I love a background like this. So I'm doing the green color, electric lime at the top, and just really trying to spread out the paint so it's nice and thin, and that means it's going to dry fast. Well, the paint that I had squeezed out of my container was more than I needed, so I pulled out another piece of that paper and decided I'd make like a striped background. So I'm doing that, and this one I'm not actually going to use, but I just wanted to show you like how quick and easy these are to create several backgrounds that you can pull out and use at another time. So I still had some paint left over. I spritzed it with water to give it a looser consistency, and then I was able to kind of like watercolor with it. By the way, the paintbrush that I'm using is like a super duper cheap paintbrush, probably from like the dollar store. And I like it because I like those brush stroke marks. So I don't need anything fancy for this. And now what I've done is taken that original background. I have cut it to 4 inches in length by 5 1/4 inches wide, so it's going to fit really nicely on an A2 size card with a white border all the way around. Then I'm taking that image that's just the flowers and leaves from the Aloha Stamp Set, and I'm stamping it onto my background that is dry, and that is going to give me just a really like stepped up background. And I'm doing this on 2 opposing corners here. The ink I'm using is VersaFine Onyx Black ink. It's a hybrid ink. It's got pigment in it. It's really bold. It's more wet, so it works really good for stamping over a surface like this. Then I took some of the black paint. It's like magic black or something, and I just needed a little bit, and I got too much, so I tried to put some more back in. And what I want to use this for is splatter. Now, I love splatter. I will splatter most things, but I know it's not for everybody. So you could totally like stop your background at this point, and then you would have a great background without splatter. I even had extra splatter. So I took that piece that I had cut off and I splattered that, and I'm going to use that for my second card coming up in this video. So stay tuned for that. Next, I have the peach, fresh peach, I think. And it's really a pink color, so I wanted just like a stripe of it across this die cut circle, and I will add just a tiny bit more to that later. And with my extra paint on that, I had some like embossed backgrounds in my stash for this particular color, so I decided I would just kind of brush over the top of those embossed backgrounds, and then I've amped those up a little bit, made them a little bit more special, and I can use those for a card at another time. At the top of my circle, now that it's dry, I put some hearts, and then I'm going to put my toucans right below those hearts, and the sentiment I'm using is "Toucan do it." I love it. All right, I'm going to add this onto my background. I'd used foam squares, but also I used a little bit of liquid glue since I'm sticking down to that acrylic paint that could just be a little bit slippery, you know what I mean? Like, I just want it to really stick. Okay, I have some rhinestone embellishments that are somewhat translucent with this like super bright green or yellow color, and glitter suspended in them. They're from Trinity Stamps, and I am going to adhere those down onto my background. So I'll do 3 up here in the upper left corner, and then I'll also add 3 more in that lower right corner. And these were just so much fun that I pulled out the like reddish mix and added those right onto my circle, and you can see the glitter suspended in that. So there is card number 1. I love making my own backgrounds, and so this was just so much fun to do. And because I splattered this other piece, I decided I am going to go ahead and make a second card that's 4x4 in size with that. So in this pink scrap, I have it's like a page protector that I keep all my scraps in for different colors. They each have their own page protector. So in this one, I found the circle, I found the heart, and those 2 embossed panels, and I just like went to town playing with my scraps, and that always makes me like so proud of myself. So I used this heart for my second card and stamped Live, Love, Aloha on there and embossed that with white. And my idea here is that the paint would go over the top, but the embossing would resist the paint, and then I would be able to wipe it away. So I just let it set for like a minute, and then I went ahead and wiped it off, but I didn't get all of it off of the top part, the Live Love part. So it kind of makes it look like my embossing did not emboss great, but I'm going with it. I'm just going with it because all those paints have like that metallic shine to them. So when you turn it in the light, you see the metallic. It's so cool. All right, I decided to take the word hello, stamp this in the top with festive berries, and I did not like it. So I turned my card so those flowers that I stamped in black are now at the bottom, and my already stamped and colored and cut out piece is going to go at the top. So that's just how it had to be because I covered up that hello. It was not my favorite. It was just wasn't going with like the aesthetic I had for my card. So I used an obscene amount of foam squares on the back of this panel once I glued the 2 together because that's how I roll. I like things to be very sturdy. I don't want them coming off, and I stuck that in place. And then I'm trimming off this excess that's hanging off the edge, but I'm not going to waste all of it. There's a pretty big piece here. I'm going to take that and rotate it and stick it there at the bottom. So it just has these little leaves like peeking through. I mounted that to my 4x8 card base, which was scored at 4 inches and folded in half to make my 4x4 card. And then I'm bringing back the same exact embellishments as my first card and gluing those in place. So the yellow color onto my background, and then I'll use some of those reddish pink ones on the heart itself, and it's just a really like nice touch that makes this card even more special. But the backgrounds themselves, I can't get over them. They're so cool. I know in my pictures they look so super bright from the bright lights, but they're actually, you can tell the difference between like the green and the yellow. You can see those like lines from the paintbrush, and they're just super fun. So I encourage you to pull out some acrylic paint and use it to make backgrounds for your card making. I'm sure you're going to love it as much as I do. So thank you so much for stopping by the Not Too Shabby channel. And make sure you check out the Not Too Shabby shop, which I have linked for you in the description box below, so you can see the offerings they have new every month, like this stamp set that I used today from the June subscription box. So thank you so much for spending time with me, and happy stamping. Bye!